hard.
Jesus.
I've beaten this game like 8 times, lol.
You gotta use the mods, bro. I would like to see that game with mods, straight up. Just a ton of mods.
Slack on my
Life Alert, 41 months. Thank you, man. I am not the Messiah. I'm nobody. I'm just someone who has had enough of being fucking miserable. We got problems in life that are so much worse than playing a fucking game of League, bro. I'm sick of being miserable. You need to see the fun in gaming. And through variety, and through the storytelling, and the music, and the art, and the world of creation, I've seen the beauty of just enjoyment and having fun in gaming again. That's it. That's it. I hope you do the same. That's all I'm going to say. You can sit down and enjoy something and not be so miserable. It's true. I'm not the Messiah, bro. I don't lead a cult. I'm none of that stuff. I just like having fun. You go back to, like, the ancient ways of humans. Remember when we were in caves slinging shit at each other for fun? Right? We weren't trying to beat each other. Well, we were trying to beat each other up. We've always done that. But...
Hi, Toby. Finally finished watching 2077 VODs and holy shit, you were bad at the game. You can't play it brainlessly like RDR2. You have to spec and build shit. Like, you didn't even clean weapons in RDR2, so I don't expect much, but man. Read a guide PLSXTD.
You know, I actually upgraded myself last night. Okay, here's the thing about Cyberpunk and Red Dead.
He's right, harsh truth.
Thank you for the dono, man. Dude. Okay. Cyberpunk is it's an RPG. I upgraded my stuff. I upgraded my body. I upgraded my guns. I'm not so shit. But, you know, I'm not going to yap. I don't want to yap about that. Let me beat the game. Let me get further into the game. And by the end of it all,
I'm tired of hearing about RDR2, boss. I can feel the pain in my balls.
Listen, Cyberpunk, Red Dead is great. Cyberpunk's cool. It's a unique experience, I'd say. We haven't played anything like Cyberpunk. It's a first-person RPG, but like also an immersive-ish sim. It's very cool. It's like the RPG thoughts of Cyberpunk, how they went about it, makes complete sense. If Cyberpunk wasn't an RPG-ish game, I think it would be less fun. You know, the whole thing of Cyberpunk is body modification. It's human, you know, we're transcending into something worse or more, right? You know, oh, I have blades sticking out of my arms. I can beat people up, blah, 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 right? Like, I've got enhancements that let me double jump. I've got eyes that I can see things with the naked eye that could never. It's so cool. Those RPG elements are fucking cool as shit. The overall, I mean, the gunplay's good. But my biggest issue with that game is you feel like you're immersed in a universe. You feel like these gaming systems are a part of the universe. It's incredible. It's a very immersive experience where you're in Cyberpunk. You're in the distant, dystopic future of 2077. And then you put 50 rounds in a guy's head because your gun is level 1. Like, I mean, that's just how the game is made. But I feel like they could have done something different for the combat to where you can still have those RPG elements. You can upgrade your guns. You can have different ammunition. You can do all these enhancements. But it isn't so drastically insane. You know what I mean? It's a very cool fucking concept. That's an RPG element, but it's such a disconnect from an immersive sim. That game is an immersive sim. So you tell me that you want to create a world in first person. I don't think the RPG aspect does not mesh well with the immersiveness of that game. But that is an RPG element. My preferred RPG style would be you can keep everything, but whatever you do, allow combat to flow a little more smoothly. right? You can still play into, this guy's head can take 50 rounds because he's chromed out of his mind. His brain is fucking 15 inches of titanium. That's amazing. Don't even let me kill the guy at that point with my shitty guns. But when I see low-level gangers, when I see nobodies in the street, Joe Blow, you know, douchebags, and they're taking 5 shotgun rounds to the brain to die, it's trash. I can't get behind that. I can't. But everything, how the game is presented and, you know, some of the RPG-ish elements where you can, again, create double jump, create multiple health, you know, options for passive healing or big bursts of healing, all that stuff is incredible, and it serves the universe.
Anyway, love your streams. You are a cool guy. It was just painful for me to watch.
No, we've amended that stuff. I've gone back and done it all.
You can zoom on right-click by using mouse wheel. You can also shoot grenades mid-air. They explode on hit.
Oh, I've done that. No, we've been doing that. I went back and I actually changed a lot of stuff. I guess we could be glad he's not designing games.
Where you can interact with objects more, like picking up pots and pans and boxes to throw or stack. Multiple ways to approach a puzzle or fight. Immersive
but that is that game.
The story feels real necessarily.
No.
This
but you
isn't Prey.
It's not Prey. If it was like Prey, it'd be way better though. If it was like Prey, it would be way better. I actually feel like Cyberpunk fails. Like Prey is, bro. If that game was like Prey and an RPG, holy fucking perfection. I mean, that's quite the, you know, experience. That wouldn't be cheap, but you have different ways to approach problems in the streets and whatnot. You can jump over buildings. You can take different pathways. You know, you can approach combat in multiple ways. You can use the environment to your advantage. You can hack things. You can do stuff. In my eyes, it is a semi-immersive sim. It's not entirely to the extent of like Dishonored.
Of the game is part of why I love Cyberpunk.
It is great. No, I agree.
Borderlands solo tiers and skill trees are always fun for me. I understand how it isn't for everyone too.
But I'm not complaining about
you think that
RPG.
Cyberpunk has only 1 or 2 ways to complete objectives. You've not played the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not how that is. You can do a bunch of different things. In terms, I like RPG elements, but then don't present me.
Do not take away from the immersion for people who love the genre.
It's
very
that's not what I'm saying.
To be a bum with 0 damage.
Oh, you suck my toe jam!
That allows you to one-shot everything.
Listen,
that's the whole point.
The number one thing about that game, it's not that I shouldn't be able to one-shot. Listen, the game is good. I think it's a good game. But there's a massive disconnect with how combat feels in some instances. Like, I don't want to have a shotgun and fucking shoot you in the head 50 times point blank. That's stupid. That actually detracts from how amazing the immersiveness is. If they made the immersiveness of that game, the RPG elements and all that jazz, if they made that along the lines of, okay, this guy has a body mod, but you say use a different gun. Buddy, use a different gun. I'm blowing his brains out with a shotgun at point blank. That's what I'm saying. Well, here's the issue, though. Very hard is not the intended difficulty, but the intended difficulty is too easy. But that's so stupid, bro. You can make micro changes to still have those RPG elements matter in gameplay. All I'm saying is,
Adam Smasher eats bullets and shits carnage.
Yeah, he should. The guy's a fucking robot freak. He doesn't have any pain receptors. He has nothing, right? It would make sense that he does that. All I'm saying is, if there is a human with very minor mods,
a different game. It's not what Cyberpunk is or trying to be.
That's
you just don't like this genre, it seems.
I like you get the idea that I hate the game entirely. I'm just voicing my opinion.
I want to do 0 damage if my gun is shit. I want to get a new gun and do 1 billion damage if I work for it.
And that should be the thing, but it should be done in a realistic way. I know it's an RPG. Every bit of the RPG elements in that game feel good.
Jungle?
I gotta mute the alerts right now. I'm gonna yap. The streamer's yapping. For the sake of how the game feels with its immersion. You know, why present the world in such a unique way? Why present the world in... You can't criticize the game ever, it means you dislike it. I don't dislike that game, but I do dislike how the guns feel in terms of combat. I like that they can feel powerful. I like that they can potentially feel weak. What I don't like is when I point blank a nobody ganger, some bozo Joe Blow fucking Johnny 8 Silvertoes, you know, the Timu version, with a shotgun to your dome and you've got nothing going on, and you're gonna sit there and tank it 50 times. I feel like you can still have those RPG elements. You can still have those, you know, ways to make yourself better in some way. Upgrade your guns, upgrade your body, upgrade your enhancements, your cybernetics. You know, you can have that stuff, but you can make it more exciting. You can make it feel like you're in that universe using those systems. That's all I'm saying. You know, I've played Borderlands. I've seen damage modifiers. I've seen guns that are good. I've seen guns that are bad. It's the same thing. It removes the whole point of the loot progression, but not necessarily, because people... Well, what if your weapon's jammed? What if your ammunition was subpar? What if you had to actively upgrade your weapons in that regard, but, like, it made more sense? Just because I have a dumpy gun, you know, if I'm point blanking, again, a nobody ganger, like, you're gone, bro. I'm sorry, you should be dead. Unless you've got some sort of brain enhancements. Like, things can ramp up. You can see gangs, you know, procure more body mods and shit like that. It's very... It's... The issue is, there is a slight disconnect with some of the gameplay elements of that game. No, for the sake of Borderlands, it's... Borderlands is a little bit more stylized. It's a bit more cartoonish. It's more fun. You know, if you went around shooting people with, like, loads of ammo, okay, I can understand that more. It's just very interesting that Cyberpunk wanted to be so immersive, but at the same time have game mechanics that can pull you out of that immersiveness. That's all I'm saying. Like, I would say tenfold, I'd rather have a realistic, immersive Cinish RPG in Cyberpunk than I ever would in Borderlands. That's all I'm saying. You know, you can have weapons be complete dog shit against these people. You know, force yourself to upgrade, force yourself to go back and get, you know, new ammunition and new guns and all that stuff. That's incredible. But it doesn't feel good for some of the combat to just feel like it's tediousness for the sake of the gameplay and doesn't serve the game itself. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't serve the universe. It doesn't feel like you're in Cyberpunk. It feels like you're more so playing a video game. You know? And of course it is a game, no shit, but you lose a bit of that flavor, you lose a bit of that personality and that immersiveness, in my opinion, if you don't have some of that stuff that is so abrupt and so real. And again, Borderlands is kind of the same way, but like it's presented differently. That's it. Anyways, I'm done yapping. Kind of. But you're not meant to one-shot everyone. You're not meant to. You know, when gangs see you doing things, you know, maybe they can get more cybernetic enhancements. Maybe they can realize, hey, this guy's killing us all. You know, they're getting their fucking brains modded, all that shit. Their heads don't just get shot off so easily. You know? It's a disconnect. The world of Cyberpunk is so immersive, but the gameplay is so de-immersive. That's not even a word. But some of it is just tediousness for the sake of it being a video game. It doesn't serve the story. It doesn't serve the universe you're in. That's what I'm saying. But the immersiveness, it goes two ways, bro. It's both ways. If you want an immersive game, you need to sell it on so many different things. For the sake of the gameplay, you know, in Cyberpunk, you can have people be tanks. You can have your guns be garbage. You can do all these things that make the gameplay tedious, but in a realistic way. I feel like this is just like cult behavior. It's like Dark Souls community. I criticize one thing in your shit overhyped game, and you're all at my throats! You're all at my throats! It's weird! It's true. I think mods would actually make the game better. I'm not even kidding. I think it would. But to be fair, you know, hey, if that's how you feel, that's fine. We can feel different about games. It's entertainment. All of it's subjective. You're just saying weird stuff. I'm not, though. I'm saying nothing weird at all. Cyberpunk is good. There's no denying the game is good. For me, subjectively, there's a disconnect in gameplay to presentation. So far. That's what mods are for. Yeah, exactly. Mods can let you, make a game better or worse. Ideally better. I don't think they get what you mean. No, it's fine. Again, people like RPG stuff. We get it? It's just stupid as hell. I don't think it is.
Ally has been slain.
No, to be fair, that's fine. If that's what the genre is, that's fine. You know what? Everyone enjoys what they enjoy. And if you really like, blasting a guy with 15 bullets and he's not dead, I mean, I can't argue against that. That's your choice. But for me, that's just how I feel about the game. That's how I feel. I do actually think you should have to put rounds into people, but it shouldn't be always the case for every enemy. Cyberpunk is such a cool game where you can see these characters and see these people you're going up against being physically stronger than you, right? There is no way in hell everyone in that game deserves to get one-shotted. That just wouldn't make any sense, So, I like that, you have some sort of tediousness to the gameplay, but every enemy in the game should not be that way. And again, it could just be the difficulty, it could be this, it could be that. I think, personally, the biggest problem with the game probably stems from the difficulty slider, that there is none. It's more of just options. You get easy, medium, hard, or very hard. And those difficulty options are trash. Because they don't offer anything outside of numbers changes. They don't change the gameplay outside of being more tedious. But then at the same time, they make the game too easy. You know what I mean? It's probably a gameplay slider thing, more so than not, to be honest. Plays on the hardest difficulty, then complains about bullet sponges. But the issue is that the way they went about the difficulty is so boring. Like, I like that some of the encounters are tough, and that, people take rounds to kill. But then if you make the game too easy, it's not exciting. Because how is there any excitement in a world where everything is supposed to be cutthroat? 1 minute you're alive, the next your organs are being harvested for parts, right? Isn't that kind of boring? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the game is inherently flawed. It's the difficulties seem very disconnected from, the immersion. That's what I've been trying to say. Okay, maybe I should have said the difficulties, but, that's what I've meant to say. Even at hardest difficulty, you can one-shot people? Well, that's fine. That's cool. It's... if the game is on an easy difficulty, it's not satisfying because you can't die and everyone dies too easily. If it's on hard, you'll die faster, but enemies take more bullets kind of for no reason. The slider seems... We can talk about that then. That's it. I've learned the game. What are you talking about? I've used everything. I've used the hacks. I've upgraded my weapons. I've done all that stuff. I haven't done everything. I've played 3 days of the game, and I've gone into it blind. Bro, you're saying I don't know anything about the game, yet you've finished the game probably 2 to 3 times. You've played 10,000 hours. Buddy, it's my 3rd day playing the game. Yeah, I don't know everything that you do. What? Shocker. What? Shocker! Like, you guys don't know anything about dwarf lore. You're just a dumbass. You don't know anything. Go, tell me the Clinkeroon. Who the hell is Thorgrim Grudgebearer? What color are his eyes? You're a dumbass, bro. You don't even know anything. Jesus. You don't know dwarves? What's Gangplank's middle name? You don't know? Like, come on. It's my 3rd day playing the game, right? Like, you learn at your own pace.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Yes, I don't think that's very fair to say to me. You know? What color are his undies? No, I've read the skill trees. I've seen what the skill trees do. They give you more stamina. They give you more, like, accuracy. They give you healing. They give you faster regen. They do different things. They unlock more perks. I'm aware of things. I've seen it. I have not been focusing this game. I have to do another Gragas game.
Has been slain.
A to Z series in League? Probably not. We tried to do that. I gotta focus on the game. I'm done yapping. We'll talk about Cyberpunk when we get there. That mid-game.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy is legendary.
Good rage bait. It's good to converse about different things. It's interesting that we all feel so different about stuff. It's just how we enjoy things. We can't all sit down and get along, but we can, you know, agree to disagree. I hold it against nobody. You like what you like, you agree with what you agree with, and you believe in what you believe in. That's it, man. There ain't, you're never gonna change me with how I feel about that, though. That is... You know, some games are truly, in my mind, perfection, or damn near close to it, right? Some people fucking hate Red Dead. I don't see it. You'll never change my opinion of that game. That game is fucking damn near flawless. It's so good. But, you know, it's interesting that we can all kind of talk about ways we enjoy games. Well... I'm not comparing two different games, though. I'm just saying I like Red Dead. Red Dead is not mid at best. If you want the Dung Eater to come out, Red Dead is the greatest fucking game. And I'll tell you right now, Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't even hold a fucking, like a pube to Red Dead. It doesn't hold a pube to that game. So far. So far. Rage bait. How do people not like Red Dead? I'll praise the hell out of Red Dead. Insane rage bait. Press 1 if you dislike Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm just curious. Press 1 if you dislike that game. Really? Delulu. I love Red Dead. It's amazing. It's awesome. Such a beautiful game in every aspect. You will, bro, it is... The slow start turned people off. See, that's so interesting, though, because a lot of people... That's what entertainment is. That's what art is. That's what creating stuff is, right? You're creating it in the hopes that somebody enjoys what you do. And you're not trying to please everyone. You're going to please some people, and other people are going to hate you. Or not hate you, but dislike your product, you know? Like, yeah, some people don't like story-driven games. Some people like pure action. If you want to go, like, play Doom and whatever else, you know, it's like right into it. Run and gun, crazy stuff. I think that was the main point, in that the difficulty options only make the numbers go up. Well, it's... There's different ways... We're gonna yap again. Sly Cooper's better. Sorry, bro. No, the vibe and the story of Cyberpunk doesn't seem so in depth, but I think it's fine for what it is. You know, a guy who he's a merc. He took a job, found another guy. They had some sort of common ground. They ended up becoming friends. They worked together. They ran gigs for people, and eventually they took the wrong job. You know, your best bro is dead. Now you've got like some sort of conflicting fucking consciousness taking over, and you've only got so much time, so what do you make of that time? Right? It's kind of weird that you'd go around doing side missions when you know you're on a timer. Like, do you not value the end? But it's... I think the story so far is fine. It's good. But that's just art, bro. There's so many, again, games and stories, and, you know, people hated Death Stranding. I thought it was cool. But I can understand why people disliked it, sure. Invalid. Bro, you guys are... No, man. You don't flame Red Dead, I'm sorry. I have to die on that mountain with all the other true Red Dead fans. I'll die up there with Arthur. Death Stranding is more interesting than Red Dead. It's a stranger story, that's for sure. V goofing around knowing he's on a timer is a plot hole. It is. Yeah, I agree. That's a very strange move. Okay, I'll say this. Regardless of how I feel and how I talk about Cyberpunk, the game is fun to play. And I think if it's fun to play, it's succeeding. So I'm happy to be playing it. You know, regardless of what you believe in with the game, what you dislike of a game, if it is fun and you enjoy it, then the game is doing what it needs to do. It needs to make sure you have fun. So, it's just little critiques. Yeah, it's preferences. I enjoy shitty games too. Cyberpunk's not a shit game. I don't think it's a shit game, but no, you don't get it! You don't understand my reasoning. Okay, since I am the streamer, and I can yap all I want, you don't understand my stance on believability in RPGs and things like that. You said he's gonna play Baldur's Gate and complain about health bars and turn them off. Isn't Baldur's Gate a top-down game? Isn't Baldur's Gate less immersive in how its gameplay is presented? Like, when you are in first person, you are the most... Yeah, no, it is. It is, though. It is. Okay, let me ask you this. What is more immersive as the player? Playing in first person or playing in top-down third person? That's what I'm trying to say. What is more immersive? I'm not saying the universe is less immersive, but for the sake of the presentation of the player, first person is more immersive. First person is typically more immersive because it puts you in the shoes of that person. You're physically his hands. You're him. You're there. You're her. Whatever. You have the gun in your hands. FPS usually delivers better. It's more, well, yeah. I think that's a fair thing to say. That in first person mode, you feel like you're more in the moment, right? For the sake of, let's say, Baldur's Gate, where it's like a top-down game, you can have health bars. You can have all those things. I think that's fine. It's not that you can't have them in first person, but I don't want them in my first person game. You want to watch Lord of the Rings in VR? You don't get it! I feel like I'm being rage baited. You know what? Okay. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not gonna yap. We will agree to disagree. I think I'm just straight up being rage baited. I think I'm old enough to the point where, like, I'm gonna be clicking on random Facebook links thinking it's, like, the lottery. I think I'm just being rage baited. I think I figured you kids out, you youngins. 100% being rage baited. You know what, though? I like that people are passionate and can speak their mind on things. And I like that some people die on the hills they create. That's fine. You know, you say, stand by what you believe in, bro. If you want to fucking say, like, Red Dead's a pile of shit, hey, we can have that argument, but, like, I respect that you'll die on that hill. I agree having health bars in an FPS game is less immersive. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's just entertainment is so strange. Entertainment is just so weird. How we enjoy things is just so different, like, from person to person. One of the strangest things I've ever seen was an advertisement on Facebook. I gotta play the game next match. This was a disaster. There was an advertisement on Facebook. Shocker. And I gotta do this. Gragas game doesn't count. We'll do another one. That was my bad. Oh, next game I'm not speaking. Implying we lose. I don't think we'll. There was an advertisement on Facebook, and it was a musician, and I think he played drums or something. He plays an instrument, like he plays one thing, and it is some sort of performance art or some very bizarre, like, it doesn't sound good, but it's more of like what the hell it is, the spectacle. And you see this guy playing. He's got one drum. I forgot what the guy's name was. And he goes to small venues, small little gigs. He's actually kind of popular. And he stands up, and he starts with a table. He has the drum on the table, and he picks up the table, and he's like pushing it into his face. He's like, he puts the drum down. And he goes, and he fucking throws it around and moves it and does all these things, and he's like, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But people like it. People see something in it, and people latch onto it. People really like anything. It doesn't matter what you put out. People will watch it, and people will believe in it, and people will find it interesting. So it's... There's no... You know... You can try and find some sort of common ground, I guess, in what you like and what you dislike, and, you know, again, agree to disagree, but, like, at the end of the day, we like what we like. It is what it is. Why the fuck are you using Facebook? I like Facebook.